Third race in our great trip here to the Mid-Atlantic. It started off on Friday night at Georgetown, Delaware, last night at Hagerstown, Maryland, and tonight in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. I'm James Essex. Earl Hoon Jr. will be joining us in the infield. Brad Strasser on the call for the limited late models here tonight. We've got 35 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series cars entered here tonight for the $10,000 first place prize. So with 35 cars, we'll have Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Then we'll have Group A and B qualifying, All-Star Performance Time Trials. We'll have 4 heat races. They will be 8 laps apiece. We'll take the top 4 out of each of those heat races. 2 10-lap B mains, top 3 go. And then we'll settle up on the provisionals of tonight's A main. 40 laps, $10,000 to win. Ricky Thornton Jr., who won here a year ago in April. And he won last night at Hagerstown after Garrett Alberson had led the first 31 laps. And Thornton got around him and led the remaining 19 circuits to win the Konica G50. Port Royal, this track opened in 1938. It's a half-mile Progressive Bank Clay Oval. Steve O'Neill is the promoter here. They run a weekly show of 410 sprints. They had the Keith Kaufman Classic here last night. Right, Brad? Keith Kaufman Classic. Who won that?
That one went to Ryan Smith, drives the 69K.
Ryan Smith for Donnie Kreitz.
That's right.
Very good. So there you go. We'd love coming here. We'll be back here in August for $50,000 to win. Earl Hoon Jr., hey, we liked you on Thursday night, on Friday night, so I guess we'll bring you back to your home track here tonight, my friend. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing.
And James, welcome back to the Speed Palace, right? The battle in the Borough, and we all know what kind of battle we are going to see here tonight with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, brought to you by FloRacing. Also on the card are our limited late models, brought to you by Zimmerman Truck Repair. You already mentioned it, a strong 35 Lucas Oils are in the pit area here tonight. The sun is out. We talked a little bit about the weather. Last night, we ended around 9:45, right? Still had a good 25 to 30 mile an hour wind. The temperature was at 45 degrees when we were done with last night's program. The track crew has been out all day working their magic on this beautiful surface right behind me. As you can see, they were here till roughly 2 a.m. to try to get a head start on today's program. But so many storylines are right here at the Port Royal Speedway for the annual running Battle in the Borough.
Hey, Earl, have you ever run a relay or a marathon?
I think I just did, buddy. I got here in my spot in the nick of time, probably with about 30 seconds to spare. We were hustling. Daryl Canfield, my wireless operator here tonight on the camera, him and I were hustling, but hey, we got here just in time.
Right, but you need to get ready for an epic week on Flow Track. First, from April the 24th through the 26th, watch America's oldest track and field event with athletes from all over the world coming to compete in the Penn Relays. Then catch the home of the world's preeminent track and field events with the start of the Diamond League on April the 26th, followed by the TCS London Marathon on April the 27th. It's all streaming here, only on Flow Track. Brad, were you in track and field ever in high school?
No, I was not. I can't run very far.
I did. When I graduated, I held the 100-meter and 200-meter track record at Hauser High School. There you go. All right, we'll be back. Coming up, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here at Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, here on FloRacing. Will return to the Speed Palace. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing, Port Royal, Pennsylvania. The site here tonight. 35 cars entered here tonight for $10,000. The battle in the Borough. Beautiful weekend we've had with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Georgetown, Delaware on Friday night, won by Devin Moran. Last night looked like it was going to be Garrett Alberson's night, but it turned into a Ricky Thornton Jr. win. And Alberson ran second. He's got podiums this weekend. He's got a third, a second. There's only one way to go, Brad, and it's the site of his first career win here a year ago in August. 69 degrees currently. 11 miles an hour on the wind, maybe a little bit. What do you think? What do you think it's breezing at there?
10?
10. I think it's more than that, isn't it?
15.
Okay, I'll give you that. Ross Robinson there, a good run last night, 10th at Hagerstown, Maryland. He comes into tonight in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, 13th in the points. And speaking of points, Ricky Thornton Jr., now the Midwest Sheet Metal points leader in this Big River Steel Chase to the championship presented by ARP. He leads Moran by 65. Jonathan Davenport third, 190. But we've got a new fourth place driver. It's Garrett Alberson for the first time. He is in that top four. Remember the top four. They will get points based here at the last races of the year and heading to the Carl Shorts Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora Speedway later this year, where they run for a dirt late model record $250,000 champion, and it's going to pay $100,000 to win the race. Dalton Wilson is now fifth. He was fifth, but Brandon Overton is the driver that lost a couple of spots after last night. He is sixth, and Subson O'Neill, Brandon Shepard, Tyler, and Daniel Hilzebeck. Daniel Hilzebeck currently leads the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase over Dan Ebert and Donald McIntosh. In fact, we welcome back last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. That is Drake Troutman. He is in the house here tonight for G.R. Smith in the 22 Star. So we'll be ready to go here coming up in just a little bit with Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Well, the schedule for Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, it gets really busy here. 3 races this weekend, and then next weekend we go for the first time ever the biggest race in the history of Circle City Raceway. It hadn't been open that long. Outside of Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Marion County Fairgrounds off the I-465 Interstate 74 exchange. $15,000 to win next Friday night. Then Saturday night, of course, one of my all-time favorite tracks, the Florence Speedway in Union, Kentucky. $25,000 to win the 39th annual Ralph Latham Memorial. Then as part of the Illinois Speed Week, Friday night, May 9th, we will be at Farmer City Raceway in Farmer City, Illinois. Saturday, May the 10th at Fairbury Speedway, the Fall Spring Shootout. Then we'll be at Eagle Raceway in Nebraska, May 15th through the 17th for the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. May 22nd to the 24th, Lucas Oil Speedway. And that will conclude the Sunoco Race Fuels Road to Wheatland. The Show Me 100, a record $75,000 to win. We're going to give out $16,000 courtesy of Sunoco Race Fuels to the top 15 drivers in points. Then we'll be off for a few weeks. Of course, we'll have the Dirt Label Dream here on Flow. And Ben Vesta and I, Mike Norris, will be doing that. And then we'll be at Smoky Mountain Speedway, June 13th and 14th. Lernerville. We go to the west side of Pennsylvania here for the Firecracker 100. And that is coming up June the 19th through the 21st. But as always, come on out and enjoy the action. Great crowd. Well, the last 2 nights, Georgetown on Friday and Hagerstown last night. And a good crowd developing here today at Port Royal. Your college sports have come home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools in 12 different conferences only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. We're going to take a brief break as the limited late models are on the racetrack now, and Brad Strauss will have the call on them. You're watching the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing from Port Royal, Pennsylvania. We'll be right back.
We showed the world what it means to go big. Combining mini-mill technology with industry-leading talent. producing steel our customers need in an environmentally responsible way. Now, we're going even bigger. Big River Steel is building a second, highly sustainable and technologically advanced steel mill, allowing us to deliver even more of the sustainable steel needed to solve the challenges of tomorrow without sacrificing performance today. That's big picture steel.
V-Land is proud to be an official partner of the 2023 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Check us out at www.vland.com for more info. See you at the races.
ARP manufactures the ultimate fasteners from the best raw materials using cold forged technology. Family owned and made in the USA. Quality always comes first. For whatever extreme category you're in, it's always ARP-bolts.com.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by Automotive Racing Products, quality first and made in the USA. By Big River Steel, developing sustainable steel made in the world's most advanced mini mill technologies. And by Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive. James Essex, Earl Hoon Jr., Brad Strasser, limited late models on the track now for Hot Laps. Brad, take it away.
Thank you, James. So we just got the first session of Hot Laps in the books with Sean Shoemaker in car number 44 going fastest so far. Time coming in at a 20.459 with an average speed of 94.491 miles an hour. The Zimmerman Truck Repair Limited Late Models go after $2,000 tonight. Always excited to see what these guys can bring to the table. 25 cars signing in for competition this evening. Second group of Hot Laps making their way out onto the Speedway now. Right there you see on your screen that driver out of Millville, PA, the B.J. Crawford Construction, Steve's Repair Shop, Garmax Pressure Washing and Detailing Stars Portable 22. That is Casey Steinhoff. Steinhoff in the 22. He is trailed by the driver out of Louisville, PA, in the Dillman Hauling, Pensy Supply, Bergstresser & Son Distributors, Liberty Security Solutions, number 11. You have got Jackson Garmin in car number 11. And making his way out of turn number 2 in the Greencastle, PA, in the Hammer Down Customs, Chaparral Tavern, Cunningham's Body Shop, Frico Fabrication 70J. You got DJ Myers in the 70J. Taylor Farling is coming out of turn number 2 right now in car number 8. Out of Newville, PA, in the Sailors Market, Nokia and Tires, Feasers Construction, Kessler Auto Glass entry. That's Taylor Farling heading into turn number 3 right now. Trailing him, you got Matt Murphy in the 21M out of Bel Air, Maryland, in the JSI Automotive Maryland Collision Center 21M. Matt Murphy piloting through turns 3 and 4 right now, as I believe we will have just 2 hot lap sessions out on the track tonight. Lucas Adams out there in car number 14. He's from New Cumberland, PA, in the ABR Adams & Sons HVAC Everlasting's Impressions entry. And there you see car number 87 coming up to speed here right now out of Petersburg, PA, in the K&K Seal Coating Williams General Construction Diversified Investment Solutions TV Transport 87. That's Eric Irvin as the green flag waves here for the second session of Hot Laps. There you see going through turns 1 and 2, and car number 2 from Middleburg picked up a win a night ago out at the Selinsgrove Speedway. In the Stein Trucking, Strauss Electric, Windview Truck and Trailer, Bachman Auto Body entry, that's Andrew Yoder making his way out of turn number 4, seeing if he can double up on the weekend. There's Devin Wyatt in car number 88, sponsored by Sager Racing Engines, Richie Sandblasting, Dirtworks Excavation, and Bobby White and Sons Livestock out of East Freedom, PA. Lane Snook, very competitive driver in limited late model competition, helps Drake Troutman when he can in the off season, and when he's got available time, he's picked up many wins at the Baps Motor Speedway. Still looking for his first Port Royal Speedway win in a limited late model competition as the checkered flag waves here on the second hot lap session of the night. As you look over times, there's Ryan Zook in the 28Z. He went 5th quick overall with a 28.58. Fastest in hot laps for the Zimmerman Truck Repair Limited Late Models was car number 44 of Sean Shoemaker with a 20.459. Jared Volker second with a 26.47. Taylor Farling third with a 27.20. Andrew Yoder fourth, 20.845. And Ryan Zook rounding out that top 5. So that will wrap up hot laps for the Zimmerman Truck Repair Limited Late Models, James. So next up should come out the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, but we'll throw it down to Earl Hoon Jr. You got a word, Earl?
Yeah, thank you, Brad Strasser. I'm trackside here in turn number 4. We mentioned at the top of the show what the track crew and how long they were here last night. As I mentioned, they were here until wee hours in the morning, and then they got right back here pretty much at 7 a.m. It has been another very windy day here in Juniata County, and they were on top of it. The track right now, as you can see here in turn 4, as the limited late models go back to the pit area, has some character. That character is going to be grippy. We saw that Friday night down at the Georgetown Speedway. So tip of the cap goes to the track crew, and we're just going to have to see how the rest of the night goes and how this track surface turns out.
All right, Earl, thank you very much. By the way, the points here at Port Royal, Greg Satterley won here last week, his 21st career win at Port Royal. He is second in the points behind Rick Eckert. Colton Flinner is third, Dylan Yoder fourth, Justin Weaver is fifth, all 5 of those him. Dylan Stake is 7th, he is here, and Sean Jones runs 10th. So 7 of the top 10 in the weekly points here at Port Royal in the house tonight. Ready to go Group 1 here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. First time here at Port Royal, currently leading the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year point standings in the Manning Chiropractic 32, design number 22. He is in the capital car. He is out of Earlham, Iowa. That is Daniel Hilsebeck. Behind him, a new rocket. He's debuted this year. Former Lucas Oil 800 Series Rookie of the Year. He's in the Johns Towing, Fast Andy Racing, River Salvage, Rocket, Jay Dickens. Levi Yetter turning the wrenches tonight on Colton Flinner in the 48 car. He is out of Allison Park, Pennsylvania. Also here in Group 1, there's the 11 car, first time at Lucas Oil 800 Dirt Series this season. That is Jason Schmidt. Jason Schmidt out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania. He's in the Schmidt's Garage. Lost Creek Tree Service Longhorn, number 11. There's the 24, the Dry Dean, the M&M Pending Construction car. For the veteran Hall of Famer, Rick Eckert. Rick Eckert out of York, Pennsylvania. The Rocket, Jay Dickens, car number 24. Also on the track, there's last week's winner. Good run last night at Hagerstown, the Satterley Motorsports Kaiser Manufacturing entry, the 22 out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. That'll be Greg Satterley. Greg Satterley in 22. There's the other 22, the 22 star, last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. He's out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. That is Drake Troutman. Drake Troutman in the G.R. Smith entry. Brickhouse Tavern, Victory Auto Sales, Gambler Transport 22. There's the 66C car coming to us out of Ridgely, West Virginia. That is driven by Matt Cosner. Matt Cosner and the RH Lap Mechanical Contractors. Nelson Auto Sales, Rocket Durham, 66C. Also should be out there the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana. There's the 1Z of Logan Zarin. Logan Zarin out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania. He's in the All-American Framers Longhorn Pro Power. And Hudson O'Neill, the SSI Motorsports. Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding Company, Subsurface of Indiana, 71. Drake Troutman, 19.045, the last car in the pit area here this afternoon. 19.045 for Drake Troutman. So an impressive list of rookies have won the Rookie Award in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Again, O'Reilly Auto Parts. It is a dirt late model record. Again, $20,000 to win that, plus over $18,000 in contingencies. As I keep mentioning, just an impressive list going all the way back to the Silver Shark, Scott James, Steve Casebolt, Justin Ratliff, who'll be back maybe next week at Florence. Terry Casey, John Blankenship, Chris Wall, Jared Landers, Jonathan Davenport, Billy Boyer Jr., Jason Hughes, Brandon Shepard, Colton Flinner, Hudson O'Neill, Mason Ziegler, Tyler Erb, Tanner English, Ricky Thornton Jr., Garrett Alberson, Max Blair, and Drake Troutman. Brad, that would be a heck of a feature, wouldn't it? That would be one I would pay to watch there with all them guys in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
There's a lot of guys here tonight, James, that are running Sharp Advantage Safety Products, which is a sponsor with us here at Port Royal Speedway, but they're based out of Brownsburg, Indiana. A lot of customers. He does seats, tons of safety products. He's watching here tonight. He's a big fan of yourself. He says you got to get out and meet him, James, when you get the chance. He loves listening to you. He loves watching the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
Dave Sharpley, right?
Yep, you got him.
All right, don't forget, fans, tickets and camping on sale for the Dirt Track World Championship. Carl Shorts Dirt Track World Championship, Eldora Speedway, Rossburg, Ohio. The Lucas Oil season finale, $100,000 to win, October the 17th and 18th. Again, ticket and camping information, eldoraspeedway.com. Group number 2, led up by the 06 car. That'll be Mike Looper, the veteran driver. He's out of Shermansdale, Pennsylvania, in the crew by chiropractic car. In the 6 car, the Wilkerson Farms Longhorn. He was second in last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase to Drake Troutman. That is Clay Harris. Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida. In the Billy Hicks H&H Construction 79 car, last year's Spring and Southern Nationals champion. First full year in the Lucas Oil Series out of Dawsonville, Georgia, Donald McIntosh. Donald McIntosh at 79. Here's the winner here a year ago. He's won a lot in the last couple years. Got his 47th career Lucas Oil win. Broke the tie with Don O'Neill last night. So he's 4th all time. That'll be Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona. There's the 18D cars on the Big River Steel podium last night. The Big Perm Dalton Wilson and the JR Motor Sales. James Ratliff owned car to Fayetteville, North Carolina for Dalton Wilson. Also on the track, the 19M. In the Colton Miller JCM Motorsports Yellowhammer Vibrant Tank Lines entry, that is Spencer Hughes. Spencer Hughes out of Meridian, Mississippi in 22. There's the Lynn Geisler #1 Cochrane Expressway car driven by the veteran Alex Ferree. Alex Ferree out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania in car 1C. Also on the track, right there, the Green Lane 25C Rocket out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. Another former Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year. That is Mason Ziegler. Mason Ziegler in the 25Z. On board with Ricky Thornton Jr. tonight. 18989, 18989. I'm surprised, Tiff, you could get somebody to do the in-car camera the last couple of nights. But well, Ross Robinson had it at Georgetown, and then Devin Moran had it last night. So there you have it. Ricky Thornton Jr. coming off a win, sporting the Midwest Sheba DeLorean spoiler as he takes the ultimate towing and recovery. Hoker Trucking 20 RT to the infield right now. Again, 18989. Jonathan Davenport was also out there. The Nutrien Ag Solutions 49 car. Earl Hoon Jr., have you ever worn an in-car or out-of-car camera?
No, sir. No, sir. But I just want to let you know, update there on Mike Looper. He had a blown right rear tire, so not a great way to kick off the battle in the Borough for the driver of the 06, Mike Looper. All
right, Group B, which will be Group 3 here in hot laps, coming up next. Led up by the driver running for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase, Lakeshore, Minnesota driver, the Christensen Group. Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Collins Brothers Towing, Rocket Durham. That'll be Dan Ebert. Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. He'll be followed by the 32J car. He's in the MW Racing, Red Wing Shoes, JRD Automotive, Longhorn Cornet. That'll be Sean Jones, 4th in last year's points here at Port Royal, out of Shermansdale, PE. The 93 car in the Ponchos Racing Products, Creek Set Auto Sales Longhorn out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, will be Corey Lawler. Followed by the 99 car, second in the points, Red Night's winner, Georgetown, Delaware. He is in the Longhorn Clements, Big River Steel, ACD's RV, CMW Trucking. And 3, that'll be Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. Followed by the number 4, the Beast of the East, in his 50th year of racing in that Langenfelder Mechanical Longhorn Vic Hill, Greencastle, Pennsylvania, Gary Stuhler in 4. And the 76 car, the Riggs Motorsports, Garnto Southern, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Napa Auto Parts, Longhorn Clements of Brandon Overton in 76. Tough luck for him last night. Went from 4th to 6th in the points and is back in his second year running with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. He won the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series a year ago, and now he's back with Lucas Oil. There's the D19 car, regular here at Port Royal. That'll be Dylan Stake. Dylan Stake, he's out of Mapleton Depot, Pennsylvania. He's in the Wagner's Excavating 10-man body shop, rocket with the Barron's engine. The 32J, there is the Red Wing Shoes entry, the NW Racing entry of Sean Jones. Sean Jones again 4th here last year in the points, currently 10th here early in the season at Port Royal. There's the 66 car, was with us last night. That'll be Justin Can. Justin in the Border Financial Notella Ridge Camp Longhorn Clements out of Huntington, Pennsylvania. There's the blue and the Longhorn Poncho's Racing Products entry, PPC lubricants of Corey Lawler. Corey Lawler in car number 93. There is Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, and also should have out to the 21 out of Hampstead, Maryland, in the Bosley Towing Sharp Rocket Pro Power of Chad Myers. There's the Beast of these, Gary Stuhler, the Hall of Famer. 70 years old, just turned 70 years old in his 50th year of racing. Devin Moran here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps 19.545, 195.45 for the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports 99. Corey Lawler 2nd, Brandon Overton 3rd in that group. About the last 2 nights, Brad, at Georgetown and then last night at Hagerstown. No pole show at either track, Brad. Moran started 6th on Friday night. Thornton started 6th last night, so very impressive. So Devin Moran takes that to the infield. One more group left to go here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. The best performance number 1 coming out here in this group. That'll be Tyler Erb. Tyler Erb, the Roberts Wheat Company First Class Septic entry. Don't forget Dirt Draft. If you've not been on Dirt Draft, go get the app. Okay, you get a free t-shirt if you're a new subscriber. You can choose from either the USAC, USAC, High Limit, Lucas Oil, all of that available. If you're first time subscriber to that, you get $100,000 in playment. It's a great Dirt Draft Fantasy League for Dirt Late Model Racing. Pick your top 5. Who's it going to be here tonight? And you may be a winner. All right, which is pretty cool. So thanks to Dirt Draft for all what they do for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Again, Tyler will be coming out here in the number 1, the Langenfelder Mechanical entry. There's the number 7 car, 10th last night. That is Ross Robinson. Ross Robinson out of Georgetown, Delaware. The Stokely Materials, Commonwealth Equipment, ML Joseph Santa Grava. That's a Rocket Clements, number 7. Well, there's the defending track champion at Lernerville, the 72 car. He comes to us out of Sarver, PA. The Millerstown pick apart. D&D Auto Salvage through a concrete rocket Durham of Michael Norris. Michael Norris. There's the 58 car. Brady's only got one way to go, right? 3rd, 2nd, 1st. He did it here a year ago in August. That'll be Garrett Alberson. He's in the Low Voltage Solutions, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Race Fuels. 58 for Ken and Beth Roberts. He's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. There's the Langenfelder Mechanical. Best performance 1 of Turbo, Tyler Erb. Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in car number 1. There's the 24 car. He was with us last night at Hagerstown. That is Dylan Yoder. Dylan Yoder in the Strauss Electric White Cap Rocket Durham out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania in 24. Should have the Knowles Fire, number 2J. That'll be Justin Weaver. Justin Weaver, the Knowles Fire Protection Chassis Logistics Longhorn Pro Power out of Clear Spring, Maryland in the 2J. Should have the Valvoline Mark Richards Racing Rocket 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois. That is Brandon Shepard. Brandon Shepard really coming on here lately. The Illini 100 winner. And in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points, he is 8th, but he's gained quite a bit here the last couple of races. There's the 93 car. The Paler Motorsports entry. Live Oak Aesthetic. Hoopaw Grading, Coleman Farms entry. That'll be Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson out of Lincoln in North Carolina in 93. So that'll do it for Group 4 of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. 19.531, 19.531 is the quickest in that group for the driver out of New Waverly, Texas, Tyler Erb. All right, we're going to take a brief break. Coming up next will be All-Star Performance Time Trials. 35 cars entered here tonight on a beautiful Sunday evening in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. You're watching the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing. We'll be right back from Port Royal Speedway. We are back at Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing. Looking forward to next week in Indiana, Kentucky. Come on out. Circle City Raceway, Indianapolis, Indiana. The the capital of racing, right? Is Indianapolis, Indiana, right? Circle City, the biggest race they've ever run there. It don't matter if it's sprints or late models. $15,000 to win next Friday night. Come on out and support Eddie and Donna Van Meter, and I know they will appreciate it. They've got a really nice facility there And we look forward to seeing them next Friday night. And, of course, the King family, House of Power, Florence Speedway. Some of the best people you ever want to meet's the Latham family. Dave Latham, his wife Sandy, and their entire family. Got to know them well over the years, and they are really good friends of mine and really great supporters. And come on out. $25,000 to win next Saturday night. Here we go. Hudson O'Neal is going to be the first one out in 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana. He'll be followed by the 22 Oliver Lamaya. It'll be Daniel Hilzebeck. And out third, with the 66 out of Ridgely, West Virginia, that'll be Matt Cosner. Matt Cosner, the RH Lab Mechanical Contractors, Nelson Auto Sales, Global Truck Outfitters, Vincent Designs, Mighty Auto Parts, G&P Distributors, that's a Rocket Durham, O'Neal, the Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding Company, Subsurface of Indiana, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Westside Tractor Sales, Indiana U, Triple SA, Fast Pit Softball, 19915 O'Neal, Bobcat of Batesville, Bob and Tammy Burton, Hilzebeck, 19400. 19400, and Cosner's going to be 19955. Hilzebeck in the Manning Chiropractic, 22 Enterprises, Big Deal Car Care, Hilzebeck Farms. Finish line, Body and Paint, Adams Snow Removal, and Alley Auto Sales. Lap number 2 for O'Neal is 19458. Hilzebeck, first lap's going to be the quickest of those three at 19400, and lap 2 for Cosner, 19998. The next three up will be the 11 car to Lewistown, PA, and Longhorn Cornet. It'll be Jason Schmidt. Jason Schmidt in the Schmidt Garage. Lost Creek Tree Service, followed by the 22 Star. Last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year out of Heinemann, PA. It'll be Drake Troutman. He is in the GR Smith Team 22 Incorporated. Brickhouse Tavern, Victory Circle Auto, Gambler Transport, RFI Resources, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Jerry Siding, Roofing and Windows, Stone Natural Resources, George Beckett and Sons. That's a Longhorn Cornet. And the 24 of Rick Eckert at York, Pennsylvania, the Grinding, M&M Penning and Construction, Suburban Bolorama, Alley Oopsie Sports Bar and Grill. That's a Rocket J. Dickens. 4 wins in 2025 for Eckert. Trauma, 19576. Schmidt was 21.491 at his first lap. Lap number 1 for Eckert was 19.898. Schmidt, lap 2, 21.351. Lap 2 for Troutman is 19.693, and lap 2 for Eckert is 20.104. 20104 for Rick Eckert. So, through 6 cars, it's rookie Daniel Hilzebeck in 22. Up next will be the 48, former Rookie of the Year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Allison Park, PA. He calls home. That'll be Colton Flinner. Colton Flinner and the Johns Towing, Fast Andy Racing, River Salvage, Stands Transmissions, All Comfort Solutions, Heating and Cooling, Jake Brake Customs, Rocket J. Dickens. Followed by the 1Z out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania to be Logan Zarin. Logan Zarin and the All-American Framers, Napa Racing, Lovell Enterprises, Schwartzmiller Transport, Brandon's Lawn and Landscape, Tamai's Towing, Zarin Truck and Automotive. That's a Longhorn Pro Power, followed by the 22. 21 career wins here at Port Royal, including last Saturday night. Out of Indiana, Pennsylvania to be Greg Satterley. Greg Satterley, the Kaiser Manufacturing, Satterley Motorsports, AFCO, Classic Inc., Rocket Clements, 22. So Daniel Hilzebeck, fastest so far here in All-Star Performance Time Trials. Lap number 1 for Flinner is going to be 20.380, 20380. Zarin will be 5th at 19.911. Satterley fast time, 19.395. 19395 for Greg Satterley in 22. Colton Flinner, lap 2. Is going to be 20.158. Zarin, 20.264. Saturday, can he improve it? He does not. 19.827. 19827 for the Truth. And the truth is, he is quickest so far here in Group A, 19.395. Group A, by the way, will be up of heats 1 and 2 here tonight. Up next will be the 79, running for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. Out of Dawsonville, Georgia, that'll be Donald McIntosh. Donald McIntosh in the Billy Hicks Racing, H&H Auto Sales, Coleman Farms Racing. Nobody Walks, NC.com. That is a Longhorn Clements, followed by the 1C, the veteran out of Saxonburg, PA, the Alex Ferree and the Lynn Geisler, Rocket Clements. Number 1, Cochran Express, Jack's Recycling, Tri-State Hose and Supply. Glow River and Hot Sea, 1C, and then the 25C, another former Rookie of the Year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Green Lane 25C of Mason Ziegler. Mason Ziegler out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. He is in the RBS Truck Collision, RBS Auto and Trailer Sales. Harris Wamsley Enterprises, Fox Shocks, BX Logistics, Rocket Clements 25Z, McIntosh, last year's Spring and Southern Nationals champion. First lap here tonight, first trip to Port Royal. Second quick time, McIntosh, 19.399, 193.99 for Donald McIntosh. Lap number 1 for Fareed is 19.701, 197.01. Ziggy is 19.520 and 25Z, 19520. McIntosh trying to pick it up. And he does not. 19.870, 19870 for McIntosh. Fareed lap 2 is 20.244. Here comes Ziegler. And Ziegler will stay 5th. His first lap was quicker. Second lap was 19.853. So through 12 cars, it's Greg Satterley, Donald McIntosh, Daniel Hilzebeck, and Hudson O'Neill, your top 4. Up next, 3 throttle masters, no doubt about it. It'll be the 19M out of Murray, Mississippi. It'll be Spencer Hughes. Spencer Hughes of the 19M, the 20RT out of Chandler, Arizona. That is Ricky Thornton Jr. And the 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia, will be Jonathan Davenport. Spencer Hughes, the JCM Motorsports, Colton Miller. Yellowhammer Design and Construction, Clyburn Tank Lines, Neon Bubbles, Car Wash, Lone Star Super Gas, Extreme Graphics, Torco Race Fuels, Indiana U, Triple SA Fast Pit Softball, that's a Rocket J. Dickens, Ricky Thornton Jr., the Bobby and Jessica Kohler, Knights Companies, Hoker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Ways, Sunoco Race Fuels, EMD Wrap Certified Inspection, Longhorn Clements, and then Jonathan Davenport. He's in the Longhorn Clements for DeMillo Motorsports, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Dyna-Gro Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, for Lance and Darla Landers in 49, Jonathan Davenport. Spencer Hughes. Lap 1 is 19.6, Spencer Hughes lap 1 is 19.609. Thornton fast time, 19.372. Davenport, 19.464. Hughes lap 2 is quicker, 9th quick, 19.609. Thornton will go better, or excuse me, Thornton is coming up. Davenport, and Thornton does not go better on lap 2, 19.610. He'll hold on lap 1 at 19.372. Davenport lap 2, he'll go fast time, 19.268. 19268 for Jonathan Davenport. And again, if you're quick time in Group A and B, that's 10 bonus points in each group. Davenport right now, 19.268. Thornton, 19.372. Satterley, 19.395. McIntosh, 19.399. 3 more to go in Group A. It'll be the 18D. He was on the Big River Steel podium last night. Third, he led laps at Georgetown on Friday. Out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, that'll be Dalton Wilson. Dalton Wilson and the James Ratliff. Grantley Farms, MG Auto Sales, the Auto Wetland, Innovative Community Solutions, Keltner Contracting, JRR Motor Sales, B&L Construction, Dean Bowen, the crew chief for the Longhorn Clements. Followed by 6, last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up out of Jupiter, Florida, Clay Harris and the Ken Harris Longhorn Durham. Wilkerson Farms, Impact Electrical Services, Done Right Construction, National Fragile X Foundation, Boswell Oil, United Cable Systems, 12 Kings Construction Supply, and the 06 of Mike Lutfer out of Shermansdale, PA. He's out there at the Longhorn Pro Power, Batch Carpentry, Lutfer. Kruba Chiropractic, Millstein, Miller's Racing Parts, Mid-South Building Supply. Lap 1, Dalton Wilson. In the ATD, 19.932, 19932. Clay Harris, 20.235. Lutfer, 20.427. Wilson, lap 2, 20.404. Clay Harris, lap 2, 24.11. Lutfer, lap 2, 20.401. And that should do it for Group A. Heats 1 and 2 tonight. And it is 10th, Alex Fareed, 9th, Spencer Hughes, 8th, Drake Troutman, 7th, Mason Ziegler, 6th, Hudson O'Neill, 5th, Daniel Hilzebeck, 4th, Donald McIntosh, 3rd, Greg Satterley, 2nd, Ricky Thornton Jr., and right now your fastest qualifier, 19.268 in the 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia, Jonathan Davenport. So that means your pole sitters, Heat 1 will be Davenport, Heat 2 will be Thornton. Outside row 1 and Heat 1 is Satterley. And Heat number 2 will be McIntosh. That, again, that is pending the UNO8 scales where they check the droop and the weight rule. Don't forget our official pace truck this year, Race Car Engineering. In Lakeland, Florida. They were founded there in 1998. Race Car Engineering has become one of the largest sources for racing and performance parts in the Southeast United States, with a unique showroom and offices and a 17,000 square foot warehouse full of inventory. Race Car Engineering carries parts for circle track racing, asphalt and dirt, sprint cars, drag racing, road racing, street performance, pro touring, muscle cars, hot rods, off-road, and karting. For more information, go to racecareng.com or dial 1-800-882-7231. Group B coming up. It'll be Daniel Ebert. He's in the 60 car. He's out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. He is in the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Woody's Racing, Christensen Group, Amsoil, Fox Shocks, Shaw Towing, and Peterson Farms. That's a Rocket Durham, followed by Sean Jones out of Shermansdale, Pennsylvania, 32J, the Rich and MJ Whitfield, Longhorn and Cornett, Red Wing Shoe, JRD Automotive, Jeff Jones Masonry, Baker Door Company, also Wheeler's Towing, Clipper Magazine, Powder Coating Specialist, and the 93 out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, Corey Lawler. Corey Lawler, the PPC Lubricants, Controls Racing Product, 3% of the sales. Longhorn Pro Power, 93. Ebert, 20.073, 073, 20.582 for Jones. Lawler, 21.209. Lap 2 for Ebert is 20.899. Sean Jones, 20.421. Here comes Lawler. Corey Lawler, lap 2 is 20.421, 20421 for Corey Lawler. Up next, the driver, Friday night's winner at Georgetown. Second in the points, the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports entry of Devin Moran. Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. Followed by the number 4 at Greencastle, Pennsylvania, the Hall of Famer Gary Stuhler. And the 76 out of Evans, Georgia, that is Brandon Overton. Devin Moran, the Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, C&W Trucking, Bowback, Millwood Plumbing, Refuel Wellness, Anthony's Pizza, Red Oak Pub, Pee-wee's Record Service, Car Source Auto, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge Jeep Ram, Phillips CPA, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Hull and Haskell, that's a Longhorn Clements, Gary Stuhler, Langenfelder Mechanical, Ernie D's Enterprises, SK's Equipment, Maypro Grove Machining, Nine Acres Tire and Auto, that's a Longhorn Vic Hill. Moran first lap, 19.576. That's quickest in Group E so far, 19.576. Stuhler, 20.639. Overton, fourth, 20.366. He is in the Riggs Motorsports, Gerto Southern, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Napa Auto Parts, Roof US, UNOH Dude Wipes, Receiver Valley Transportation, Longhorn Clements. Moran lap 2, 21.166. Overton lap 2. Moran, by the way, Moran to go. Oh, his first lap was quickest, 19.576 for Devin Moran. He's quickest again here in Group B. Brandon Overton to go to second at 20.044. And lap 2 for Stuhler is 20.718. Your next 3 should be the 21. He comes to us out of Hampstead, Maryland, in the Rocket Pro Power. That'll be Chad Myers. Chad Myers in the Bosley Towing, Sharp Farms 21. Justin Can will follow him, the 66 out of Huntington, Pennsylvania. He's in the Border Financial, Notella Ridge Camp. Also K&K Seal Coating, Sheffield's Auto Sales, Claycomb Excavating, that's a Longhorn Clements. And the D19 in the Mapleton Depot, Pennsylvania will be Dylan Stake. Dylan Stake in the Wagner's Excavating. Tin Man Body Shop, Williamson Salvage, Penske Shocks, Wayne's Water Conditioning, Carlock's Used Cars, Frico Incorporated, Rocket Baron Racing Engine under the hood for Dylan Stake, 7th in the points here at Port Royal. The time to beat here in Group B is 19.576. Devin Moran. Brandon Overton second. Dan Ebert third. Corey Lawler fourth. Lap number 1 for Chad Myers. Dylan Stake 20.164. Tyler Erb out there, the number 1 car out of New Waverly, Texas in the 1 car. His first lap was 20.047. Justin Can, his best lap is 20.060. His lap 2 was 20.398. Tyler Erb, his quickest lap will be that lap right there. Lap 2, 20.026, 20026 for the Langenfelder Mechanical, Roberts B Company, First Class Septic, Go Lithium, Sunoco, Sanawell, Rocket Clements for Tyler Erb. Dylan Stake, lap 2 was 20.189 in the D19. So Chad Myers did not make an appearance. That should bring up the 93. He is out of Lincoln in North Carolina. That is Carson Ferguson. Followed by the 7 out of Georgetown, Delaware, Ross Robinson. And the 72 out of Sarver, Pennsylvania will be Michael Norris. There is Carson Ferguson, the Hoopball Grading Company, Live Oak Aesthetic and Family Dentistry, Coleman Farms Racing, Sparks Oil Company, Buddy's Automotive, Brad Benton Trucking, Baker Mitchell, Triple Electric, Pro Fabrication, Boone HVAC, Solidify Concrete, Floor Solutions, that's a Longhorn Cornet, Ross Robinson, the Stokely Materials, Commonwealth Equipment, M.L. Joseph Sand and Gravel, Wesley Collins Builders, The Frozen Farmer, Sussex Carpentry, Hardscrabble Express, Atlantic Prime Mortgage, First Aid Roofing and Exterior, that's a Rocket Clemenson and Michael Norris, the Millerstown Pickup Art, D&D Auto Salvage, Thorough Concrete, Woods Rod and Custom, Rocket Durham. Ferguson, fast time, Group B 19.505, 19505 for Ferguson. Norris lap 120.083, 38 rather. Robinson was third on lap 1 at 20.006. Ross's second lap, a tick slower, 20.344. Ferguson lap 2 is 19.882. Here comes Norris, the defending joint champion at Lernerville at 20.375, 20375. So through 12 cars in Group B, he beats 3 and 4 tonight. It'll be Carson Ferguson, Devin Moran, Ross Robinson, and Tyler Erb. So we got 4 more to go. It'll be Garrett Alberson, third on Friday night at Georgetown, second last night at Hagerstown. He led 31 laps a night ago. He is in the Low Voltage Solutions, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Race Fuels, Titan Racing Products, Dickey's Doghouse, Cheap Cars, Nutron Ag Solutions, Bill Sports Shop, Done Right TV, Romer Machine, Longhorn Clements. Justin Weaver will follow him, the 2J out of Clear Spring, Maryland. He is in the Knowles Fire Protection, Chassis Logistics, Brings Live Sales. Also, GDC IT Solutions, hello, Payne Contracting, Longhorn Pro Power, and Dylan Yoder in the 24 out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania. He is in the Strauss Electric, Whitecap, Robinson Septic Service, Wetzler Funeral Service. That is a Rocket Durham 24 for Dylan Yoder. Dylan Yoder comes into tonight 4th in the points here at Port Royal. Garrett Alberson 3rd in Group B right now, 19.988, 199.88. Weaver 20.304. 20.304 for Weaver. Lap 2 for Alberson is going to be quicker, 19.686, but still third, 196.86 for Alberson. And Yoder, don't believe he is picking up. Weaver's second lap in the 2J is going to be 23.046. So Carson Ferguson, Devin Moran, Garrett Alberson, Ross Robinson, Ford Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series regulars, they're in the top 4. We'll check on Dylan Yoder's car. Brandon Overton, who had issues last night, running in the top 10, fell out of the race, and they're unloading a backup car for the Riggs Motorsports Heartbeat Hot Sauce 76. So we should have one more, and you see him sitting there in the Valvoline Mark Richards Racing Rocket 1. It'll be Brandon Shepard. Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. Soybert Calf Ranches, Franklin Enterprises, Petrov Towing, Sunoco Race Fuels, Gunner's Honey, Ace Metalworks, Styles Marines and Maintenance, Rocket Pre-Owned Motors. Number 1, Rocket Durham, Brandon Shepard. He's been on a roll lately, winning the Illini 100, but he's got some good finishes here in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and his return to the series here in 2025. Right now sitting 8th in the points. So Carson Ferguson right now, the fastest in Group B, still not the fastest overall. Check the transponder. You see him down there on Dylan Yoder's car. Either it's gone dead on him or he left front frame rail where the down bar meets the snout. That's what they're always told in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That's where they go. They got to face down. So either he ran with us at Hagerstown last night. So right now in Group B, heats 3 and 4, Carson Ferguson would be on the pole of heat 3. Devin Moran on the pole of heat 4. Garrett Alberson would be on the outside front row of heat 3. And the winner of heat 3, by the way, is going to be outside front row here tonight for the battle in the Burrow 40-lap A main. Ross Robinson would start outside row 1 in heat 4. But you've got Brandon Shepard there. You know what he can do. Comes into tonight looking for his first Lucas Oil win of the year and his return to the series. Former Rookie of the Year, 32 career wins. So how about that last night? Ricky Thornton Jr. broke a tie with Don O'Neill, 46. Scott Bloomquist is still the all-time winningest driver, 94 wins. Jonathan Davenport at 85. Jimmy Owens at 82. Ricky Thornton Jr. at 47. Don O'Neill at 46. Earl Pearson Jr., who's driving the Race Car Engineering Pace Truck tonight, has 40 wins with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. By the way, the top 10 in points, we've got the top 2 drivers have already gone over $100,000, and we're not even through April yet, right? And Ricky Thornton Jr. and the 99 of Devin Moran. In fact, the top 10 have won over $1.5 million already. Wow. Pretty impressive. $1.3 million payoff. Points fund, $250,000. That's number 1 in dirt late model racing history to pay a champion. It'll all be decided October 17th and 18th at Tony Stewart's Eldora Speedway. Carl Short's Dirt Track World Championship. Camping and tickets, eldoraspeedway.com. Here we go. Dylan Yoder and Brandon Shepard should be the final 2 of the night. Chad Myers did not make the call down the back straightaway. Goes Yoder. Brandon Shepard. Lap 1 is going to be 9th at 20.067. 20.067. Dylan Yoder's first lap was 20.535. The Middleburg, Pennsylvania driver. Second lap, 20.538. Here comes B-Shep down the main straightaway. And Brandon Shepard, he'll go to 4th quick time. And that's important because that'll put him on the outside of the front row of heat number 4. The final qualifier, 19.776 for Brandon Shepard, puts him 4th. So that should do it for Group B. 10th, Dan Ebert. 9th, Justin Can. 8th, Brandon Overton. 7th, Michael Norris. 6th, Tyler Eyre. 5th, Ross Robinson. 4th, Brandon Shepard. 3rd, Garrett Alberson. 2nd, Devin Moran. And your fastest in Group B at 19.505. In the 93 out of Lincoln to North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for the Baylor Motorsports car, driven by Carson Ferguson. Overall, your fast qualifier tonight at 19.268, the 49 of Blairsville, Georgia, Jonathan Davenport. We'll be right back. Coming up next, we'll have our pre-race ceremonies at the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. You're watching the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, presented by FloRacing. We'll be back.
And welcome back to FloRacing's live coverage of the Battle in the Borough here at the Port Royal Speedway with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Port Royal Speedway. Before we get underway with tonight's heat racing action, we will go into opening ceremonies. So if you can, please rise. Gentlemen, remove cover. As presenting this evening's invocation, here is track chaplain Doug Malott.
Thank you, Earl. Let's pray, fans. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beautiful weather that is here this evening. We thank you for the provisions that have been made for each and every one of us, for the track crew that is here, for the safety of the drivers, for the crews that are here to be able to have this night of exciting racing at the Port Royal Speedway. We thank you for the provisions that are made to be able to feed us, to protect us, and to keep us safe. We thank you as well for the protection that you have given us through your Son, Jesus Christ. Tonight, Lord, as the Lucas Oil late models have come in that anticipated return to the Battle of the Borough in Port Royal Speedway, we thank you and ask for your divine grace and presence upon each and every one here this evening to be able to keep them safe for their travels here, their travels home, and all in between. We thank you as well for all that is provided in this great mecca of motorsports that we call the Speed Palace in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. So, Heavenly Father, into your hands we commend all these things, and all of God's race fans come together and said, amen.
Please remain standing as singing the national anthem. Here is Mr. Lou Lloyd.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, hot laps are done. All-Star Performance Qualifying done. Opening ceremonies done. Now we get into this evening's heat races. And with the call, we'll go back up top to the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Mr. James Essex.
Oh my, Brad. What about that?
How about that, huh?
How about that guy in that Kubota lawnmower? Who was that guy, right?
Earl Hoon Jr. putting some work in earlier this afternoon. If you're standing on the fresh infield grass, stop Earl. Thank him. He did a fantastic job with that.
He did. He needs a striper on that, right? He needs to put some stripes on it. All right, let's ready to go here. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here at what a beautiful setting this is. This back straightaway and in the town of Port Royal over here. Good crowd on hand. The wind is dying down. That's awesome. Ready to go. Penske Shock seat number 1. The winner of this race will be on the victory fuel pole here tonight. It'll be Jonathan Davenport in 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia. Outside will be the driver that won here last Saturday night. 21 wins here, 3 in the Lucas Oil Series. Out of Great Indiana, Pennsylvania is Greg Satterley. Row 2, he's the top rookie of the Around the Other Parts Rookie of the Year chase. He's out of Earlham, Iowa. It'll be Daniel Hilzebeck. And outside, another former Rookie of the Year in the series. He is out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, Mason Ziegler. Row 3 will be Spencer Hughes. He's out of Meridian, Mississippi. And the current points leader at Port Royal, 4 wins overall this year, 3 of them here at the port. It'll be Rick Eckert out of York, Pennsylvania. Row 4, he was on the Big River Steel podium one night ago in 3rd. It'll be Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And another former series Rookie of the Year, Colton Flinner in 48 out of Alice on Park, PA. And the 06 is Mike Lupfer Mike Looper is out of Shermansdale, Pennsylvania. Race car engineering pace truck, Earl Pearson Jr. behind the wheel. 40 times a career winner in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, EPJ. Well, there you have the front row of Jonathan Davenport, the second all-time winningest driver. He is 9 behind Scott Bloomquist. Scott had 94, and Jonathan Davenport has 85. Daniel Hilsebeck, top rookie so far in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Again, for the, second or third year in a row, $20,000, a dirt late model record. That is twice as much as any other series has to offer for Rookie of the Year. So we're very proud to be back with O'Reilly Auto Parts, and over $18,000 in contingencies as well up for grabs for the Rookie of the Year. And again, a dirt late model record, Brad, $250,000 to win the point championship. And we've already had 2 drivers, and that would be Ricky Thorne Jr. and Devin Brand. They've already gone over $100,000. In fact, the top 10 combined have won over $500,000, and we're just the end of April.
It's
pretty
been a
impressive.
While. It's been a while since somebody's visited victory lane other than those 2 guys between Moran and Ricky Thornton Jr., James. So looks like we're ready to go here for heat race number 1.
All right. This is for the Victory Fuel pole. The winner of this race at the Nutrien Solutions start zone. It'll be Jonathan Davenport and Greg Satterley. Off at turn 4. Rob Penrod waves the green flag. You know Satterley, both of these drivers know how to get around this joint as they go down the bottom. How about the rookie Daniel Hilsebeck? Hilsebeck into the red 22 around the white and blue 22 of Satterley. Greg Satterley sets him up to the bottom. Satterley will throw the slider in on Hilsebeck. They'll slide up the track. Jonathan Davenport's going to lead lap 1. A spirited battle behind him with a pair of 22s. Satterley and Hilsebeck. Here comes Rick Eckert. Rick Eckert, the current points leader here at Port Royal. He'll go down the back straightaway. He'll work the outside of Spencer Hughes. He'll eye the 25C of Mason Ziegler. But right now, Brad, it's Jonathan Davenport out in front here in heat number 1.
Yeah, Satterley came a run there momentarily there off of turns 3 and 4 as you watch this battle. Mason Ziegler trying to get something on the 22 of Hilsebeck out of turn 2. Here comes the 24 of Rick Eckert with a nice run off of turn 2.
And we start a little earlier than normal, of course, being on a Sunday night. People's got to go to work tomorrow, so we understand that and get them out here. We've had a long, successful, and great 3-day weekend here in the Mid-Atlantic area. There you see the battle between Ziegler and Eckert. Right now, Davenport has the lead. It's 1.2 over Satterley, Hilsebeck, Eckert there. Then it's Ziegler, Wilson, Hughes, Flinner, and Looper. Well, Brad, Dalton Wilson got behind in qualifying, and right now he's on the outside looking in on the podium. Last night, you see there him the shot the 18D car, and the competition level is so tough nowadays. You get behind by not only a 1/10 of a second, but it could be 1/100th of a second, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. He's watching that battle for the final transfer spot right now between Rick Eckert and Mason Ziegler, who have just been going at it here lap after lap as we have just 3 laps remaining. Rick Eckert sitting in that 4th and final transfer.
And we're 4 heats today, 8 laps apiece. The top 4 out of each heat goes. Here comes Wilson to get a run on Ziegler down the back straightaway. That is for 5th. So Jonathan Davenport, he's led from the start of this race, and right now he's got about a straightaway lead over Greg Satterley in that 49 car. There's the battle there. They're going to go side by side into 1. Wilson and Eckert, or Wilson and Ziegler rather. That is for 5th, but that will mean a pole starting spot for the first B main is off at turn 4 at the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go for the 49 at Jonathan Davenport, Brad.
Davenport's opened it up here over Greg Satterley. He's coming out of turn 2. Right now is Satterley trailing here just a bit. But the 49 looking good here in heat race number 1, James.
Pending the U108 scales, he'll interview with Earl Hoon Jr. and Jonathan Davenport leads it wire to wire. He'll be in the Victory Fuel pole tonight. Pending the U108 scales, Greg Satterley will be 2nd. Daniel Hilsebeck 3rd, and 4th will be points leader Rick Eckert. So those top 4 will go to the UNOH scales to make it official. Grabbing 4th will be the 24 of Rick Eckert. 3rd will go to the 22 of Daniel Hilsebeck. 2nd will go to the 22 of Greg Satterley. And your winner, he is in the Nutrien Solutions, Dyna-Gro Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas. That's a Longhorn Clements. Double O Motorsports, Lance and Darla Landers out of Batesville, Arkansas, the car owner. The 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? For-year winner, Jonathan Davenport. As soon as he crosses the scales, they got to weigh 2350 in preliminaries. Time trials, heats, B main. Now they get a pound per lap burn off for the main event tonight is 40 laps, so 40 pounds. As Earl Hoon Jr., the helmet is off as Superman. He'll talk to EHJ.
Jonathan Davenport looking to get his third Port Royal victory in his career. The weekend really didn't start off well like he wanted to at Georgetown Speedway. Kind of rebounded last night at the Hagerstown, was able to get sixth. Jonathan, is tonight the night you get Port Royal victory number 3?
No, sure hope so. Tried something a little different there, and this whole girl did not like that. I about gave it away and pushed real bad twice, so we'll know what not to do in this feature. But yeah, we got some good notes here, and we're just going off of those and just tried something a little different. But anyway, just thanks to everybody that helps us out, Nutrient Ag Solutions, everybody else, and say hello to Rachel and Blaine, everybody else watching back home, and maybe we can get number 3.
How about it, James Essex? JD, he won last year for the Rumble by the River. Like you said, he got real close to the topside guardrail in turns 1 and 2, almost gave it away there, but he was able to do some veterans move to where he was able to propel himself into that heat race win.
The car didn't like that. He won by a straightaway.
These guys.
That makes them so good because they're always tinkering with the cars.
So picky.
All right, here we go. Summit Racing heat number 2 coming up. You gotta love it. Love dirt late model racing. It's the best. Here we go. 20 RT, Chandler, Arizona. Current Midwest Sheet Metal points leader. It will be Ricky Thornton Jr. On the outside of me, the 79. He's running for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. He is Donald McIntosh alongside the Arizona driver, Ricky Thornton Jr. Row number 2 will be Hudson O'Neill, the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana. Outside the 22 start, last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase out of Heinemann, PA, it'll be Drake Troutman. Row 3 in the Lynn Geisler 1C, it'll be Alex Furry out of Saxonburg, PA, and Logan Zarin, also of the Keystone State, out of Hookstown, the 1Z. And row 4 will be Matt Costner. He is out of Ridgely, West Virginia, the 66C. Clay Harris, the 6 out of Jupiter, Florida. And Jason Schmidt in the 11. He is out of Lewistown, PA. Well, Brad, last night, Ricky Thornton Jr. got the lead. Garrett Albertson led the first 31 laps for the Arizona native. Driving for the North Carolina-based team, Kohler Motorsports. And there's the North Carolina-based team for Georgia's Donald McIntosh. Last year's Spring and Southern Nationals champion, out on the road for the first time. I believe, like he said, like Hilsebeck and Ebert, especially Ebert, he's not run probably 90% of these tracks with the new last year's USMTS modified. But man, McIntosh and Hilsebeck, it will wear you down, won't it? But these guys, they're all 3 of them are capable of winning this Rookie of the Year title. It should be good all year, Brad.
How about this in-car look for Ricky Thornton Jr.? So many people dream about going around Port Royal Speedway. So let's just ride with this view all the way up to the green flag, James.
You like that? I like that, Brad. Here we go. And the FloRacing in-car camera at the Nutrient Ag Solutions start zone. Down the main straightaway at Port Royal. Ricky Thornton Jr. and Donald McIntosh into turn 1. Let's just stay with it. Look at this. And he's on it out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Ricky Thornton Jr., that guardrail gets in there pretty quick out there as they come into turn number 3. Thornton is going to lead lap number 1, Brad.
Yeah, how about that sun in your eyes off of turns 3 and 4 as well? That'll dip down behind the pit bleachers later on, but that's a challenge for those guys through the 3rd and 4th corner as you got O'Neill down on the bottom side battling for that 2nd spot with McIntosh.
Nobody does it better than FloRacing, don't they?
No.
Nobody. Thornton, McIntosh, O'Neill, Troutman, your top 4. Here comes Drake Troutman, last year's O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. Made the overnight tow from Alabama. He's going to grab the spot in the GR Smith 22. Slides up the track to O'Neill. Headed to the guardrail. Here comes Alex Furry, the number 1 Cochran for Lynn Geisler down the back straightaway. Off at turn number 4, Ricky Thornton Jr. He wins this race. He will start inside of row number 2 tonight. Thornton throwing it O'Neill throwing it sideways on Faree in the 1, Brad.
Battle for that final transfer spot. The 71 of O'Neill just having trouble here in this second heat race. Faree giving him all he's worth right now, trying to get himself into tonight's A main.
So the Arizona driver out in front, Ricky Thornton Jr. Planning to build a house in Iowa, will move back there. Bill, obviously full-time again with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, looking for his second championship in a row. Good battle there between Faree and O'Neill. It's Thornton down in front. McIntosh is solid second. Drake Troutman is third. Then it's O'Neill, Faree, Sarin, Cosner, Harrison, Jason Schmidt. And right now, I believe Davenport won by over 3 seconds. It's 2.5 the advantage for Thornton off of turn number 2 into 3.
Faree, he's not done yet either. He's looking to catch the 22 start of Drake Troutman. O'Neill trying to stay right in the mix there, going to the bottom side in turns 3 and 4. Troutman leaving the lane. The 71 of O'Neill trying to get that 4th spot back.
Yep, forward advance. Rest will have to run a B main. O'Neill comes into tonight. He is 7th in the championship points, but it is all Thornton and McIntosh. How about these rookies? Hilzebek good at heat 1. McIntosh in this one. Right now runs in 2nd as the Barron's performance, 1 lap to go. Alex Faree in that 4th and final spot behind 3rd place Drake Troutman. Final time around here at Port Royal. So the driver that won the battle in the Burrow here a year ago, he will start 3rd here tonight as he will take the checkered flag from Rob Penrod at Summit Racing, heat number 2. 2nd is going to be McIntosh. Here comes the battle for 3rd, Brad.
Off of corner number 4, you can give it to the 1C of Alex Faree going into tonight's battle in the Burrow A main.
Puts the Lynn Geisler car in the show. So Alex Faree will finish 4th. Again, this is pending the Illinois scales. 3rd will be Drake Troutman. 2nd will be Donald McIntosh. Good run for Donald as he takes that Billy Hicks Racing entry into the show here tonight in a good starting spot. But your winner, he started 6th last night at Hagerstown, got the win. Lost by half a car length Friday night in Delaware. He is in the Hoker Trucking Knights Companies, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste, Sunoco Race Fuels, EMD Wrap Certified Inspection. It's a Longhorn Clements for Bobby and Jessica Kohler. The 20 RT out of Chandler, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for your winner, Ricky Thornton Jr.
RTJ pulling it down here on the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Got the thumbs up from the scales. Lucas Oil Late Model Series officials gonna check the Drupal. You said it, man. Photo finish to kick off the weekend down at the Georgetown Speedway. Came up about a half a nose short on that one, winning last night's feature event at the Hagerstown Speedway. He was able to pick up a win here last year. Can you go back-to-back here at the Port Royal Speedway tonight, Ricky?
I don't know. Watching JD there, he looked really good in his heat race. So I feel like if I can at least kind of be close to him coming to the feature, hopefully lap traffic will play in our favor and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like our car's still pretty good. I was a little tight there qualifying, kind of hurt my lap a little bit. But I got to thank everyone at Kohler Motorsports, Zach, Skylar, Nick. They're busting their butt. Excited to be back at Port.
Ricky Thornton Jr., no stranger to victory lane and no stranger to really race anything, if you think about it. Brad Strasser, I think we got to talk to RTJ and see what we got to do to get him in a 410 sprint car here at the Speed Palace.
Boy, wouldn't that be fun, Earl? We had a great show last night. Would love to see what he could do around here.
Did he win at Millbridge last week in like a micro something? There you go. Well, he looked forward to Circle City on Friday night. He won the CJ Rayburn Tribute Race there last year at Circle City, and we'll be back there at Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Friday night. Be there. All right, for the outside of the front row, the winner of this race will go. It'll be Coolidge Thermotech heat number 3. It'll be the 93 of the Lincoln to North Carolina, Carson Ferguson. The 58 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. That is Garrett Alberson.
Inside of row number 3 out of Georgetown, Delaware. In car number 7, you got Ross from Ross Robinson. And outside row 2 from Sarver, car number 72, you got Michael Norris.
Justin Kane inside row 3. He's out of Huntington, Pennsylvania. Dylan Stake alongside out of Maple Depot, Pennsylvania, D19.
The 93L of Corey Lawler will be inside row 4 out of Hanover, PA. And then you got the 24Y of Dylan Yoder out of Middleburg, starting in 8th.
And Chad Myers does make an appearance, was not out there for All-Star Performance time trials. Well, Garrett Alberson As we've talked about, third from 12th Friday night. Last night led the first 31 laps till Ricky Thornton Jr. got around him, so there's only one way to go, and that's to the victory lane here. Got his first career win in the Lucas Oil Series last August. Here at Port Royal, Carson Ferguson looking for a good starting spot. Ross Robinson 10th last night. At the Nutrient Ag Solutions Start Zone, we are underway in heat number 3 with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Brad.
Alberson, he'll lead us into turn number 1. Ross Robinson, Mike Norris, Dylan Stake all battling for that third spot. Alberson, he'll lead us down the back chute.
Into turn number 3, about 2 car lengths. Carson Ferguson digging hard. That'll be Michael Norris, the reigning track champion at Lernerville, will be there for the firecracker. Oh, Norris hits the wall. He bumped the wall off of turn number 4.
I think he's heard sprint car guys like to do that here at the Speed Palace. Don't know if it works the same way for the super late models. He's able to hold on to that third spot right now as Dylan Stake tries to go on the work of 7, go to work on the 7 of Ross Robinson.
You ever seen Danny Dietrich do that? Here we go down the straightaway. And we've got 2 in the books. Garrett Alberson out in front, Carson Ferguson, Michael Norris, Ross Robinson. There's the battle back there between Lawler and Dylan Stake. Dylan Stake powers on the back straightaway, and they bump and they get together. Damage on the right rear of Lawler's car. Dylan Stake came off at turn number 2, and they banged the left rear, the left rear of Stake and the right rear of Lawler, but there's a battle there. Michael Norris trying to hold off Ross Robinson. Michael Norris in his debut this year at the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. But Garrett Alberson out in front at the halfway mark here at heat number 3, Brad.
Yeah, Alberson looking comfortable. You made mention he had a big win, his first one in the Rumble by the River last year in August. An exciting race here at Port Royal Speedway. Excited for that one later this summer. He's looking good right now in this heat race as he comes to C3 to go.
Yeah, no doubt about it, down the main straightaway. Again, he just climbed to 4th in the points. That's very important there. And we have a Coleman Farms Racing caution out on the racetrack. I believe is that Justin Can may have a tire down in 66.
Yep, that would be correct, James. Justin Can has a flat right rear tire.
He's going to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. No, he's going to go back to the pit area. Done for this one. 4 down, 4 to go. Halfway done at heat number 3 for the outside of the front row. Garrett Alberson, Carson Ferguson, Michael Norris, Ross Robinson. Norris slapped that wall pretty good down there coming off of turn 4, Brad. We'll get a look here if we can on the right rear of the 72 car. We know there's damage on Lawler and Stake's car. There you see Alberson and Ferguson. Now he's got a little bit of quarter panel damage.
Yeah, just a bit. He tagged it hard. These guys have been bumping and grinding out here in this heat race right now, James.
All right, Ross Robinson again 10th last night at Hagerstown. So 4 down, 4 to go. One more heat to go. And that'll be Simpson Race Products heat number 4. Devin Moran and Brandon Shepard will be on the front row. All right, so Delaware double file here in Pennsylvania, and Ferguson's going to pick the outside of Norris. See the damage there on the left side of Stake's car came down on Lawler. Just a racing deal. 2 guys running for position. So it's Garrett Alberson, Carson Ferguson, Michael Norris, Ross Robinson, then Dylan Stake, Corey Lawler, Justin Can is out, Chad Myers, Dylan Yoder. Man, Alberson looked good the other night. He looked good last night, Brad. I know you were here calling the race, but man, he had a lot of cautions. If that thing would have went caution-free, who knows how many cars he would have lapped. But that's just part of it, right?
Yeah.
That's just part of racing, and you get a guy like Ricky Thornton Jr., one of the best in the business, behind you. All right, here we go. Garrett Alberson. Again, if he wins this race on the outside of the front row alongside Jonathan Davenport. Remember the big finale here a year ago. Remember that? He was running well on that one until he broke some rear end gears, I believe, in that race. So they come out at turn number 2. Here comes Norris working the bottom. Robinson, as this track is getting better as we go on through. So we started earlier today, the normal Being a sunny night, Dylan Stake working the outside off of turn number 4. It is still Garrett Alberson, but a hornet's nest behind him, Brad.
Yeah, Dylan Stake trying to get into that 4th and final transfer spot. Well, still away from Robinson at the line. Robinson trying to go back inside as cars battle all throughout the field in this one.
See Ferguson there, he's 3rd. There's the battle there. Dylan Stake to 4th. Dylan Stake comes in tonight 7th in the Port Royal points. Down the main straightaway. 6 down, 2 to go. Garrett Alberson right now again on cruise control. In car 58, 2 seconds the advantage over Norris, Ferguson, and Stake. Still a spirited battle back here. Michael Norris, the Sarver PA driver. Here comes Ferguson, here comes Stake. Off at turn 4. They will take the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go for the Las Cruces, New Mexico driver.
Alberson out on his own. Ross Robinson nearly took himself out of the battle for that final transfer spot, got way up high in turns 3 and 4, trying to reel him in as we head into turns 3 and 4 right now for the final time.
And we'll go double box, see what Ross Robinson can do. He's going to throw a Hail Mary in there. Can't quite make it stick enough. Garrett Alberson's going to win. Michael Norris is going to finish 2nd. Carson Ferguson 3rd. And a good run for Dylan Stake. He'll take 4th and make the show here tonight, pending the UN08 scales. So, 4th will be Dylan Stake. 3rd will be Carson Ferguson. 2nd will be Michael Norris. And your winner in the low voltage solutions, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Race Fuels, Romer Machine, Bilstein Shocks, Titan Racing Products, Dickey's Doghouse, Cheap Cars, Nutrient Solutions, Bill Sports Shop, Done Right TV, Zach Houston, the crew chief. On the Longhorn Clements for Roberts Racing, the 58, he'll be on the outside of the front row, where he got his first win a year ago in his career here. He's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. How about it? 4-year winner, Garrett Alberson. As you see the damage, Brad, on the 7, Ross Robinson got in the wall.
Yeah, broke
and
coming
finishes
off of turn 4.
in 8th here tonight. Earl, Garrett Alberson, well, 3rd, 2nd, nowhere to go but 1st, right?
Yeah. Can he do it? Like you said, he came out of nowhere Friday night in Georgetown, Delaware to get that 3rd place finish. He was able to get his first career Lucas Oil win here last year. Buddy, starting on the outside of the front row, can you get your 2nd Port Royal victory here tonight?
I sure think we can. Yeah, this place is just always throws you a curveball. You know, it's kind of ripply and kind of hard to figure out like how to run it, where to be at. You know, I think they'll probably work on it a little bit. It's about rubbery off of turn 4 down there. Yeah, it's kind of got a little bit of everything. So yeah, just big shout out to my crew. They're doing a great job, and got to thank Sunoco Race Fuels, Bilstein Shocks, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Low Voltage Solution, VG. Just forgot Vinny yesterday. He's been doing such a great job for us. So yeah, just big thanks to everyone.
Garrett Alberson going for his 2nd Battle in the Borough victory. As you said, he's going to go back and talk with his crew. They're going to try to stay on top of this track service to get that victory, James.
All right, Earl, thank you very much. Simpson Race Products, heat number 4. It'll be 8 laps, top 4 transfer on the pole. 2nd in the points will be the 99 out of Dresden, Ohio. It'll be Devin Moran. Outside the number 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois, it'll be Brandon Shepard.
Then out of New Waverly, Texas, in the 1T, you got Tyler Irvin to his outside. From Evans, Georgia, in car 76, you got Brandon Overton.
It'll be the 60-car rookie late model driver, Dan Ebert, is at Lakeshore, Minnesota. The 2J out of Clear Spring, Maryland, it is Justin Weaver.
Then the 32J of Sean Jones comes out of Shermansdale's inside row 4. And to the outside, in car number 4 from Greencastle, PA, you got Gary Stuhler.
So again, as you saw earlier, after time trials, the 76 car, he had some issues last night, had a DNF. He has gone to the backup car, so he will move to the outside of the last row. Brandon Overton in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce 76 car. So 8 laps again, top 4 advanced final heat of the night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. So again, thank you very much to all of our official partners in the series this year. All-Star Performance, Automotive Racing Products, Big River Steel, Buzz Electric Bicycles, Dirt Draft, FloRacing, Keith Lawson Photography, Homatro, Hoosier Tire, Lucas Oil Products, Mark of Valor Apparel, Miller Welders, My Race Pass, Nutrient Ag Solutions, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Race Car Engineering, Rugged Radio, Summit Racing Equipment, Sunoco Race Fuels, UNOH, University of Northwestern Ohio, Wheelan and Veland Metal Services. Thank you very much. Yes, Earl.
James, I'm going to keep my eye on starting in the rear, that's right, Brandon Overton. He had to pull down a backup car after after qualifying. You know he's going to be real exciting. And how about the racy veteran to the inside of Overton? He's celebrating his 50th year in motorsports. That is Gary Stuhler. Keep your eye on those two drivers starting rear in this one.
The Hall of Famer, 70 years old. He just turned a few weeks ago. Here we go. 8 laps. We'll have 2 B mains coming up here in a little bit. We'll take the top 3 out of those. We'll settle up on the provisionals. The race car engineering pace truck with EP Jade to the infield. Moran. They entered the weekend. He and Thornton were tied. Led the points last night. Thornton leads them here tonight, heading into this battle in the Burrows. They into turn number 1. Devin Moran down the back straightaway. Tyler Erb, a pair of ones going at it. A pair of rockets down the back straightaway. Brad, Tyler Erb's got the spot right now on Shepard.
There you got Sean Jones. He's working to the outside there, battling for position off turn number 4. These cars sliding high up off the corner. Justin Weaver trying to get in the mix there as well.
And Ebert, the rookie, Lakeshore, Minnesota, the 60 car. Here comes Overton at 76. Brandon Overton on the gas up top, down the back straightaway. There's a battle there side to side. Ebert and Sean Jones. Devin Moran will lead lap number 2. Tyler, Brandon Shepard. Here's the battle here. Sean Jones slips up down the main straightaway. Minnesota's Dan Ebert has the spot.
Justin Weaver able to get by the 32J, working the bottom side of the Speed Palace right now, trying to catch that 60 of Ebert, get into that final transfer spot. The 2J following the 60. He's going to look inside momentarily here off of turn 4.
Yeah, the Sun trying to get down off this racetrack. 1 and 2's pretty good. 3 and 4, they're slipping and sliding, as they mentioned. They're going to go side by side into 1. Ebert through the middle, first time here. Again, he was 5th in last year's USMTS modified. Points down the back straightaway, pulls even with Justin Weaver into turn 3. That is for the final transfer spot out of this heat race.
Weaver down to the bottom side. Ebert trying to use the top to mount some momentum down the front strip, but the 2J, he's got that 4th spot.
Dan Ebert, his dad, crewed for many years for the legendary Dick Trickle, of course. One of the greats. I believe he had over 1,000 victories in his career. And right now, Devin Moran, he doesn't have 1,000. His dad's got a lot of wins. His dad was the original Eldora Million winner. Devin Moran trying to get his first win here at that 99. You got that ribbon Moran right through the middle. Roger Sellers, Double Down Motorsports, runner-up in the last 2 years of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Right now, he is second in the points. He is in front with 2 to go.
76 of Overton got a good run down there on the back straightaway to reel in Ebert, and he's looking to take that 5th spot away at the line this time. He's got just 2 more laps to try to catch the 2J of Justin Weaver to get into tonight's A main, but he's got a bit of a gap to make up.
Yeah, we'll be at Devin's dad, Donnie Moran's track, coming up July 4th weekend. They had their season opener last night. How about Clint Keenan, the Patasco, Ohio driver, took the win last night. Logan Zarin, who's here today, was second. Meanwhile, Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go. Coming off of turn 4, this will be the checkered flag. It will go to the 99 of Devin Moran. Second is Tyler Erb. Those 2 cars are a straightaway ahead of the rest of the field. Shepard in 3rd fact, and here comes 4th, and getting it at the line will be Justin Weaver in the 2J. So they will go to the UNO8 scales to make it official. And they will advance to the battle in the barrel here tonight, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Port Royal. 4th is Justin Weaver. 3rd is Brandon Shepard. 2nd is Tyler Erb, and your winner. He is in the Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, C&W Trucking, Bomag, Millwood Plumbing, Anthony's Pizza, Refuel Wellness, Red Oak Pub, Pee-wee's Wrecker Service, Car Source Auto, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, Ibach, Phillips CPE, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Holland Haskell's, Chuck Kimball, the crew chief, Dylan Klein, Corey Stewart on the crew of the Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports, Longhorn Clements. Out of Dresden, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for your winner, Devin Moran. Sweaty crosses the UNO8 scales, then go to the droop check. Earl Hoon will talk to him. And so we've got 16 in the show here tonight so far. As the limiteds make their way onto the track. So Devin Moran, they entered the weekend. He and Ricky Thorne Jr. were tied. He won over Thorne by half a car length on Friday night. Ran 11th last night, and right now he will start 4th here at Port Royal, Earl.
Yeah, right. Came tied at the top. Got his 5th win at Georgetown. And then Ricky was able to get the win last night. Once again, both of those drivers tied with 5 wins. What is it about you and these big half miles, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like going fast, I guess, you know, coming over here. There's everything over here is pretty much big and seem to run decent on it, you know. So the track definitely has a little bit of character tonight, but I think it'll provide a great 40-lap main event.
Devin Moran looking to get his second win on the weekend. Can he do it? That's the question. And we said it at the top of the broadcast, guys, that this track has some character to it, right? But it has multiple grooves out there, so we're going to have a very good feature event coming up a little later on.
All right, thanks, Earl. So we've got Zimmerman Truck Repair limited late models out on the track now for their first of 3 8-lap heat races. Starting on the front row of heat race number 1 in car 711 out of Halifax, PA is Jennifer Lesher. To her outside, you've got car number 14 from New Cumberland, PA. It's Lucas Adams. Starting third, the 70J, a DJ Myers. It is outside. You got Wayne File in car 72. Then you got the K32 of Trenton Basom. Starting in 5th, and is outside 6th starter in 85. You got Gunnar Walls. Brad McGinnis in car 13 will roll off in 7th, and in 8th, you got the 8 of Jeremy Pilkerton. And then 9th and final starter in car 23 is Lane Snook, as the Zimmerman Truck Repair limited late models fire to life off of turn number 4 at the Packers Concessions chalk line. We'll see if that start will stand, as our junior fan of the night, Lawson Shaw, was in charge of the green flag there on that one, but it looked like maybe the leader fired off just a hair early. So we'll stack them back up and give it another shot, and we'll give Lawson another shot at waving that green flag. Track chaplain Doug Millat does a great job with all the giveaways that take place here at the Port Royal Speedway week after week. And the junior fan of the night, something we have going on weekly. Kids get the opportunity to ride in the pace truck. Lawson did that earlier for those Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series heat races. Now ready to wave the green flag for the Zimmerman Truck Repair limited late model heat races. He also got Packers Concessions voucher to get some food. He got a free hot dog and drink, as well as $10 more towards the concession stands. He got a toy race car hauler, courtesy of the Port Royal Speedway novelty stand. He'll get a set of pictures from WRT Speedworks